Right? So I'm recording now. We would be starting with your third legs. As stated in the previous session, parang I never have discussed a certain topic which is also essential to your methods engineering or your work study and measurement subject. Okay, so syempre, I still have chance naman, why not go back to it and discuss it to you. Okay, so we have here your objectives. This is basically the basic motions of study. This is connected to the motion study, the part 2. I was thinking through why possibly I have missed to discuss this part, but looking back, I've seen the lectures of motion study na sobrang 100 slides, something like that. So maybe I thought it was already included. So this is a review of the definition of motion study. So motion study is the careful analysis of body motions employed in doing a job. So motion study is more of sometimes called micromotion study. I mean another version of motion study is micromotion study, wherein in motion study kasi you are analyzing the general. Okay, di ba? In motion study, we have discussed the principles of motion economy, yung movements, okay? But have this micromotion study. Okay, micromotion study tends to focus on micro movements or mini movements. Okay, example is whenever you're what are you usually doing? Whenever you're studying, diba? You're attempting to solve a problem. Because for example, you're going to take your exam. Okay, so you would be taking your ball pen, then placing it here, and then writing. Okay? In micromotion analysis, we are actually analyzing each of the movements involved to that process in detail. Meaning, as in the reaching part, getting the ball pen is reach. Then, getting it back is move, and then using it or use yung function if you're making use of what you just got. Okay, so yun yung concept ni micromotion study. Okay, si Gilbreth, kung matatandaan niyo si Frank and Lillian Gilbreth, sila yung actually took charge or pioneered the study of manual motion and the micromotion. Okay, so they are actually the ones who have derived the basic laws of motion economy. So these basic laws of motion economy are the basis for the predetermined times or predetermined standards that we actually discussed previously. Ay, they actually, kumbaga, parang they elaborated, but the basis, pag you'll try to look kung saan siya nag-base, they are actually basing it to the study that is made by the Gilbreth. So what is this? Okay, so they actually created 17 basic motions which they called it third legs. Okay, this third legs is kabaliktaran or their surname spelled the other way. Okay, so kung mapapansin nyo, that's TH tapos third legs. Okay, so though hindi naman inuna yung H because it won't sound. Okay, but Terblix is actually coming from the surname of its originator, which is Gilbreths. Kasi nga ang nag-start is si Frank and Lillian Gilbreth. Okay, so these are the 17 motions. So you would be seeing here some of these since we actually have discussed or had discussed na the predetermined time standards. You'll be seeing here na parang yun din naman yun. Okay? Kasi nga, the basis of the predetermined standards are actually the third legs. Okay? So here are the 17 third legs and it was actually categorized as either effective or non-effective. When we're talking about effective third legs, these are the third legs that actually contributes to the job or it makes the job complete in progress. Okay? So yun. So those are effective third legs. So we have here the first third leg, reach. When the symbol is RE. Later I will be showing you the symbol. Okay. So description, whenever you're reaching, you are moving your hand either left or right. You're moving your hand from this point to another point na it is empty. Okay? So that is reach. Some books would be referring to that reach as transport empty. Okay, take note of that. Some books, you'll see them as transport empty. But since we're using Nibel's method standards na book, we would be using reach as the terminology. Okay, so again, the first term leg is reach. This means that you have to move or you will be moving your hand from this point to another point na wala siyang laman. Okay? And the symbol is RE. Next is move. Okay? Move is like reach. You're moving your hands from one point to another, but it has content. Okay? For example, the example that we had just a while ago, getting your ball pen for you to solve a problem in a scratch paper. Getting your ball pen. I have traveled my hand from this point to that point where my case, my pencil case or ball pen case is in there. So that is called reach. Okay? When you got the ball pen and you would be moving it from that point to here. Okay? So that would be move. Okay? And the symbol is M. Okay? Next, grasp. Okay? Grasp with a symbol G is actually taking control. Okay? So it is actually included in that example. Diba? I moved my hand to grasp the ball pen. Okay? Reach, grasp the ball pen, and then move. Okay? Yun yung nagiging movement. So, in this way, you would be able to visualize na, okay, micromotion study talaga kasi it actually analyzes each movement eh. Okay? Instead of, di ba, we have in a direct time studies na you would be cutting the elements in such a way na it would be considering a set of movements. But in here, you would be doing talagang per movement. Okay? Next, release. Okay? Release naman is the opposite of grasp. Okay? If grasp is gain control, release is release control or release function or basta bibitawan mo siya in Tagalog. Okay, release yung terminology doon. Or relinquishing control. Okay? Next naman, prepossession with the symbol PP. Okay, prepossession, this happens if you are actually aligning the object to another one. Okay, or to a predetermined location. Classic example, if you're taking care of your siblings or your pamangkin, okay? So you might be having their toys na yung building blocks o kahit Lego na lang, okay, para common example. Okay, 'di ba? You have your Lego, you have to align it to the circles inside each Lego. Okay, if you would want to build it together. Okay, so that's prepossession. Since it has a predefined location, okay, you would have to align, okay, focus and align your next item to the previous item so that you would be able to assemble them. Okay, that's called prepossession. Okay, positioning an object in predetermined location. Another example of prepossession is when you are using your keys, okay, susi ng bahay, kotse, ganyan. Using your keys to actually insert into the knob. Okay? So you would be seeing, you would be able to see na nagpo-preposition kayo kasi kailangan sakto doon sa butas bago nyo siya ipasok, diba? Okay, so that's pre-positioning. Next, use with the symbol U. Okay, whenever you use It's general actually. Depende kung ano yung function. Say for example, yung writing example natin kanina, the use part is when I write. I use the ball pen to write. Okay? Next, the example that we have with the keys. Okay, the use part is when I actually turn the knob with the key. Okay, I use the key. Okay, so use. That's the function of use. Okay. Next is assemble. Okay, so though most of the time, assemble is interrelated to preposition. So technically, assemble is bringing two mating parts together. May it be with preposition or not. Okay, the difference is that in preposition, you have a certain location. But in assemble, parang it's very easy na pagdikitin sila. Classic example is magnets. Okay, assembling magnets. So you don't have to align them. Okay, but it's not limited to magnets. Classic example of assembling is the magnets. Okay, next is disassemble. Disassemble is actually the opposite of assemble. Okay, meaning from combining it together, you are making it apart. Okay, disassemble is the function. Next are the ineffective third legs. When we're talking about ineffective third legs, ibig sabihin, they are the ones who are subjected to analysis in the future. Okay? So, parang sila yung pag nakita mong, kunyari tapos kayo nang mag-analyze ng movements. Okay? So, pag nakita mo to dun sa analysis mo, makikita mo na, halimbawa, ang daming S, ang daming T, ang daming I. Okay? So, ito na yung mga scene na pwede mo sana silang i-omit. Okay? Dahil hindi naman sila nakakatulong to achieving your objectives. Okay? So, again, these are your ineffective third legs or ineffective motions. So, we have search. Search with the symbol S. So, this just means na ikaw ay, it's actually combined movement of the eyes and the hands. Okay, so search means that you are looking for a specific item from a set, or a group of object. Okay, the tendency is parang you are looking for, halimbawa, you have a set of Lego in a plate. Okay, in a plate, you have a set of Lego and you're looking for a particular shape. Okay? You do search either by hand or by eyes. Okay? Kasi kailangan mong makita kung ano yung pula o kung ano yung fit doon sa Lego na binibuild mo. Okay? So, I don't know if you're into puzzles as well. Okay? So, di ba, ang tagal-tagal ng search process doon. Kasi most of the time, you have jumbled puzzle pieces. Binubuong puzzle. Okay? Jumbled puzzle pieces, hinahanap mo pa, isa-search mo pa from a very huge number of puzzle pieces kung nasa saan doon yung part na ilalagay mo. Okay? That's searching. Okay? Search is that third leg. Next, select. Okay? Select with the symbol SE is choosing one item from several, which usually followed by search. So, after, yun nga, kasunuran siya lagi ng search. So, pag na-recognize na ng mata mo, yung right item, okay, nag-fixate ka na doon. Kunyari, matang movement lang, nag-fixate ka doon. Select yung ginagawa mong pag ganun yung process na ginagawa mo. Okay? Or pag kamay, okay, nakita mo na, so select. So, since meron ka pang processing inside, prior to selecting, diba? Prior, habang nag-search ka, nakita mo na yung right item, meron ka pang processing na gagawin. Okay? So, which is yun yung select. I-recheck mo pa, siya talaga siya. Yun talaga yung needed na item mo. Select yung process na yun. Okay? Next is possession. Orienting object during work, which is usually preceded by move and followed by release. So, you might actually be wondering, Miss, bakit naman ineffective motion or ineffective verb leg si possession? Okay? So, recalling, diba? Recalling yung principles of motion economy ninyo, supposedly, as much as possible, diba, yung mga movements natin should be direct. Okay? Eh dito, ino-orient mo pa siya. So halimbawa ay you have, I don't know if you have the toys for your nieces na may shape na octagon. Tapos ipasok mo yung octagon na shape. Okay? So, yung bago niya ipasok yung octagon na shape, isasakto niya muna dun sa angles ng octagon, diba? So, that's orienting or that's the positioning. Okay? Ideally kasi, it should be like circle. Okay? Na kahit anong orientation, papasok yung circle doon. Okay? Kasi isa lang naman yun eh. Pero na lang kung baliktad. Okay? Though less naman yun, less naman yung chance doon. Pero in terms of circle, entering a circle to a specific hole, okay, it's easier. Wala nang positioning na gagawin. Wala nang orienting na gagawin. Okay? So, sa atin, kesa mas okay pag ganun kasi hindi mo na kailangan i-align yung angles, hindi mo na kailangan i-orient o itayo, ihiga yung mga bagay-bagay para bago sila ma-assemble, okay? Or i-move, okay? So, yun yung concept ng position. Next ay inspect. Okay, usually si inspect ay kasunod ng select. Yung sinasabi ko kanina, okay, so sure na tayo na ito ba talaga? Tataas ko yun, i-move ko yun, tapos checkin ko kung yun talaga yung kailangan kong puzzle piece. Inspection yung ginagawa nyo sa part na yun. Okay? So that's comparing the object with the standard or di kaya ay rechecking, okay, based dun sa kailangan ninyo kung ito ba talaga yung item that you actually needed. Next is plan. This is actually one of the worst movement for an operator to do. Okay? For future managers, okay lang yung planning. Okay? It's essential to you. But for them, we are not prescribing that they plan or they think the operations. Why? It takes time. Okay? Some of us are fast thinkers, some of us are not. Okay? So therefore, it would be a variable. It would be a variable to your process if in case your person would be engaging into a decision-making process. Okay? So in that sense, pagka B, pagka pula yung ano mo, nakuha mo, ano mo nga, i-furnish mo. Pero pag blue, kunyari ika-cut. Okay? So ngayon, meron akong distinction. Kailangan ko pa ngayong isipin. Kailangan kong i-process kung pula ba to o blue. Though sa atin, madali kasing makita yon. Okay? Pero yung mga merong issues pagka ngawit ka na, pag 8 hours mong ginagawa yung pagdadistinguish ng pula at blue, masakit sa mata yon. Okay? So yan, yung mga ganong simpleng process, parang sige, in the first times, you would be efficient, pero sa dulo, babagal ka ng mag-isip, babagal ka ng mag-distinguish. Okay? So, in that sense, we are avoiding the scenarios na sila ay nag-iisip. Okay? Usually, yung effective motions lang dapat ang ginagawa nila. Yung nakita nyo kanina. Next, unavoidable delay. Unavoidable delay, ito yung mga movement. These are the movements that are actually unavoidable. Okay? So, meaning, we cannot pursue this movement because iniintay pa talaga yung susunod or iniintay yung materials. Okay? So, hindi ako makagalaw kasi pag gumalaw ako, maiipit yung kamay ko, mga ganon. Okay? Unavoidable delay ang scenario pag ganon. It's beyond the operator's control. It's beyond the operator's discretion. Okay? So, unavoidable delay. Next is the avoidable delay. When you're talking about avoidable delay, these are the delays that are actually incurred by the operators themselves. Meaning, these are the movements na medyo sila yung nag-i-initiate or pwede naman sanang hindi gawin pero they are doing it. Example, they would be talking to the operators next to them. Uy, kamusta ka ba? Habang nag-operate, they would be talking or they would be chit-chatting with the person beside them just to ease their boredom. Okay, so yun. medyo it's part of the avoidable delay. Though, tendency is, syempre, di ba, pag nasa work kayo, you have to socialize. Pero whenever you're doing that, halimbawa, you are actually dividing your attention. Okay? And divided attention means lesser efficiency in your task. Okay? So, that's why we actually tollgate avoidable delays. So other examples are seen there, coughing. Okay, coughing. So baka naman wag pumasok pag may sakit, mga ganung bagay. Okay, so that's avoidable delay with the symbol AD. Next, rest to overcome fatigue. Okay, so these are the non-scheduled rests. Diba? As we recall, we have, whenever you're actually establishing standard times, we are already allocating a 4%, 5% fatigue allowance. Okay? Diba? Meron ng 5% sa standard time. But these rest to overcome fatigue, these are actually additional rest periods wherein the operator just feels like resting. Okay? Parang after lifting a heavy weight, nag-rest, nag-lunch siya ng 2 hours. Okay? Rest or overcoming fatigue. So these are excessive rests that are beyond the allocated rest periods or allowances, fatigue allowances, rest allowances that are actually designed naman. Okay? So, minsan kasi the operators are actually thinking na hindi man lang nila naisip na iihi din tayo, hindi man lang nila naisip na napapagod din tayo. Ang hirap-hirap. May mga ganun kayong maririnig na reklamo, especially sa inyo directly magrereklamo ko, ito yung magiging trabaho. Sa inyo directly magrereklamo kasi kayo ang nag-establish ng standard time. Okay? Hindi mo malang naisip na parang nakakapagod na naman pag paulit-ulit, ganyan. Okay? But in reality, at the back of your mind, ate, naglagay kaya ako ng allowances. Okay? At yung allowances ko very well computed. At kasama na yan dyan. So anything that is resting na ginagawa niya beyond dun sa allowances, that is considered as R, or the rest to overcome fatigue. And it's part of the ineffective Terbligs. Last is the hold. Okay, hold with the symbol H. Para siyang si grasp. Actually, madalas kasama siya na grasp. Okay, pero ang nangyayari, stable ka lang, hold ka lang. As in, yung right hand mo, naka-hold lang. Hawak lang siya. Meron kang control, pero walang movements na ginagawa. Okay? So, why is it considered as ineffective? So, recalling the previous discussions, the movements of your left and right hand should be synchronous. Okay? So, meaning, pwedeng sana, hopefully, pag may ginagawa si kaliwa, may ginagawa din si kanan. Okay? So, kung hold lang yung ginagawa ni kanan, okay, technically, kahit sabihin natin, may ginagawa kaya siya, naku-hold kaya siya. Okay? Technically, walang movement. Okay? Walang sense. What if you just installed a holder to hold that something? No. You would be placing, the process would be, the revised process na lang. The revised process would be, place a holder, and then ilalagay mo na yung susunod na process, you can make use of this rather than making it hold on to something na supposedly it should have been maximized na mas effective yung motions na gagawin niya rather than holding something. Okay, so again, these are the ineffective Terbligs. Okay, so again, Terbligs showcases you the different micro motions that are actually engaged to everything that you are actually doing, as in everything. Kahit ngayon, pwede kayong mag-Terblig mag-micromotion analysis sa bahay ninyo, sa specific task ninyo, mapapansin nyo na lahat yon ay merong Terblig movements. Okay, and you can actually classify effective into ineffective Terbligs afterwards. Okay? So, ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo yung symbols. Okay? So, minsan kasi, if you are actually, say, for example, you will be presenting it to a higher ups, okay? Kesa words yung nilalagay nyo, minsan symbols. yung inilalagay natin. Okay, whenever we're talking, we have here the search. Okay, search, the color is black. Okay, paano nagkaroon ng color na black? Yung black, yung pang drawing dito, black. Yung mismong etong drawing na to, black yung ink. Okay, which is ito naman, tama naman siya. Okay, so the symbol is eyes na nakatingin sa kaliwa. Okay? Pero sa inyo, kanan kasi mirror image. Okay? So, kaliwa siya pag din-drawing. So, na-derive si symbol na yan by searching. Di ba pag nagsisearch kayo, you're actually moving your eyes from the center, left to right. Okay? So, ang kinapture na image ni Terbligs for the symbol or icon of search ay yung nakatingin ka sa kaliwa. Okay? Na eye movement. Next, find. Okay? Find naman, okay, find kapag nakita mo na siya. Okay? Na-recognize mo na ito na yon. Okay? So, dahil na-find mo na siya, nasa gitna na yung mata. Okay? The color of this panulat is gray. Okay? Gray ang kulay niya. Next is select. Select. So, arrow, bold yung arrowhead, okay, to the left. So, select and the color is light gray. Next is grasp. Grasp, ang color ay lake red. So, grasp dahil wala pa naman, kukunin mo pa lang naman, okay, parang kamay yan, kamay na pakuha pa lang. Okay, ba ito, kukunin ko pa lang yung speaker ko. Okay? So, dahil hindi ko pa siya nakukuha, ganito muna yung kamay ko. Okay? Grasp. Okay? So, when you are holding, hold, ang color niya ay gold ochre. Okay? So, hold. Dahil hawak mo siya, may laman. Parang ganito. Okay? So, dahil hawak ko to, may laman siya sa ilalim. Kaya, merong line to the ilalim. Okay? Next. Transport loaded. Ang color ay green. Grabe yung green. Parang blue-green. Okay? So, green para lang ma-distinguish sa kay olive green. Transport loaded is actually your move kanina. Okay? Move na movement. So, transport loaded is parang kamay na may laman. Okay? This is your move. Okay? Kamay na may laman. Okay? So, move. Transport loaded. Next naman, transport empty. So, ito yung reach kanina. Transport empty, kamay lang. Kamay lang, wala siyang laman kasi nga, kukunin mo pa lang o papunta, nagre-reach ka pa lang. Nagre-reach ka lang from one point to another. Reach. Okay? Next, possession. Though kami, never namin naisip kung bakit ganyan yung symbol ng possession. Okay? Pero, para mas madali siyang matandaan, para lang naman siyang letter P pero binaliktad. Okay? Possession, P binaliktad, o di kaya gusto niya 9. Okay? Though mas wala namang sense yung 9. Okay? Next, assemble. So, assemble, color is violet and the symbol is hashtag. Okay? Diretso ako sa disassemble. Disassemble, kung mapapansin nyo, nabawasan ng linya. Kasi parang, ano yan, parang sticks. Okay? Sticks na pinagpatong. Kung naglalaro kayo, if you're playing pick up sticks, okay? Imagine may 2 sticks, may nilagay sa ibabaw. So, when the symbol for assemble is the complete 4, and disassemble, bawas lang isa. Okay? So, this is the disassemble sign. The use symbol is just U. Okay? Letter U na ang color ay purple. Next ay inspect. Okay? Inspect, the color is burnt orange. Okay? So, though wala akong masistate with regards to the color, kasi parang nung ni-research namin siya before, wala rin naman siyang ka-basis. Okay? So, yun. Pwede nyo yung gawing study kung saan siya nag-base, pero hindi pa namin alam kung saan siya nangyari, kung bakit ganyan ang basis ng color. Pero yung icon, medyo interpretative naman siya. Okay, so si inspect, sabi nila the symbol is actually parang yung, it's not microscope yung magnifying glass. Magnifying glass na ang kinapture lang ay yung ulo. Okay, so that's inspect. Yung nasa taas. Okay, nasa taas lang at hindi siya full circle. So, preposition naman. Preposition, tandaan nyo na lang, it's like a bowling pin. Okay, preposition, bowling pin, sky blue ang color niya. Okay? Next is release load. Release load is kamay. Kung kanina, transport loaded or move, kamay na may laman. Pag bibitawan mo na siya, babaliktarin mo yung kamay mo, okay? Which is yung laman nasa ilalim ng kamay mo. Okay, so that is release load. Next, avoidable delay. Avoidable delay, ang symbol niya is like a person who is nadapa. Okay? Unavoidable delay, a person who is nadapa, natilapid. Okay? Hindi ko naman kasalanang natilapid, safety issue kasi yun. Okay, natilapid. Okay, so kaya medyo ang ulo ay nasa floor. Okay? Next, we also have here the avoidable delay. Since the avoidable delay, these are the excessive movements that is not really needed in the process. Okay? So kaya ang nagsisignify sa kanya is taong nakahiga. Okay? Avoidable delay. Next, plan. Okay, plan. It's like a tao na nag-iisip. Okay, sana na-visualize nyo. Okay, it's like a tao na nakapalumbaba at nag-iisip kasi nga plan yung process niya. And the color is brown. Okay, if you're wondering again, yung colors, yun yung markers na ginagamit dito. But hindi ko lang siya nilagay sa marker. I mean, yun yung ginamit ng marker kasi may kakaiba dun sa description ng color nila. Alam ba, burnt orange. Okay, hindi ko naman masasabi sa inyo na burnt orange kung ilalagay ko lang siya dito. Okay, so yan. Again, this is brown. Last is the rest for overcoming fatigue. Okay, so rest for overcoming fatigue, orange ang kanyang color, and then nakaupo na tao. Okay, nagpapahinga nga kasi siya. Okay, so rest for overcoming fatigue. Si hold ay technically the Therblig first appeared in Mugensen's book and later in Dr. Bornes. Ito naman yung symbol ni hold. So okay naman din siya. Okay. Ito yung example na kung saan ginagamit si micromotion study o yung Therblig's na yun kanina. Okay, so mapapansin nyo, dito ginamit yung symbol. Okay. This is a two-hand process chart. Since two-hand process chart actually analyzes the left and the right hand movements. So we have here your left hand movements and your right hand movements. Okay? And it's actually distinguished with regards to the Therblig movement. So we have here, halimbawa, get U-bolt. Sa get U-bolt, you have two movements. You have reach and grasp. Okay? And inorasan niya 1 minute daw. Pero kung predetermined yan, kung ang gagamitin niya ay yung previous discussion, di ba, gagamitin niya lang yung MTM1. MTM1 chart, MTM2 chart, o di kaya most, depende kung anong gusto niyong gamitin. Okay? Sa kabilang kamay, get cable clamp. Okay? Reach and grasp din ang movement. So, and so on and so forth. So, sa ganitong paraan siya ginagamit. Kita mo agad kung ano-ano yung ginagawa sa kada element. Okay. So, Therblig's analysis checklist. Okay, so you can actually try to analyze each of the movement by this checklist. So, you have here the reach and move. Halimbawa, balik ako ha. Halimbawa, na-identify nyo na ang movement ay reach at grasp. Okay, you can actually try to check yung mga reach questions here. Halimbawa, can either of these Therblig's be eliminated? Pwede bang hindi na lang kukunin? Pwede bang automatic na lang? Pag hindi, edi no. Okay? So, and so on. This actually makes you realize kung may possible pa ba, may other way pa ba para dito sa process na to. Okay? Since baka kasi masyado ka ng, nakita mo sa dulo, mabilis naman pala. Okay? Wala naman palang problem. Okay? hinihingan ka ng, your boss actually asks you na, hindi, there's a problem talaga. Okay, you can actually make use of this analysis checklist wherein this will help you to analyze, okay? Baka mamaya masyado ka lang napafocus dun sa total, pero if you check each of the movements and verify through these questions, you might actually you might actually realize na pwede palang ma-eliminate, pwede palang i-combine na lang, okay? O pwede rin namang i-replace na lang. Halimbawa, ito si release. Can the release be made in transit? O, pwede bang bibitawan na kaysa re-release pa at a certain point? Mga ganon. Mas mapapabilis. Okay? Kung sasagutin nyo tong mga questions under this checklist, mas ipaparealize nila sa inyo kung meron pa ba kayong posibleng gawin doon sa certain process na. Manual work design guidelines. So, since identified niyo na, marunong na kayong mag-time, okay, at marunong mag-third legs, so normally, pwede nyo ring i-compute yung energy expenditure for each activity. Okay, so this is so you can compute for the rest. Okay, rest periods. So we have here the energy expenditure formula, that's energy with the unit kcal per minute is equal to 4.9 na constant times V, where V is the volume of air inspired o yung gaano kadami yung hininga. Okay, di ba whenever you are actually moving, you are working, halimbawa nagbuhat ng liter ng water, nagbaliktad, di ba hinihingal kayo? Okay, so volume transpired yon. Okay, so medyo mami-measure nyo yon. I hope we have a tool sa ergonomics. Okay, so volume inspired, and you also have here the fraction of oxygen and in expired air. So this is actually most of the time ang gamit natin ay 0.17. Okay, so therefore ang kukunin nyo na lang talaga ay itong volume of air inspired. Okay, so in this way you would be able to see kung gaano kadaming energy yung nasuspend ng worker in terms of this task. So we have here in this picture the example of energies that are actually transpired with each specific activity. Okay, kaya minsan makikita nyo pagka nag-solve kayo ng methods na problem, hinihingi na agad yung rest incurred for a certain activity, halimbawa for building blocks. Okay, kasi meron ng table o meron ng standard table na nagpapakita sa inyo ng movements, ng energy expenditures with a certain type of movement. So for building bricks, 4 kcal per minute daw ang energy expenditure. For wheel, pagbubuhat ng wheel na merong 115 pounds, that's na ang lakad mo ay 2.5 miles per hour. So that's 5 kilocal per minute. Okay, that's the energy expenditure. Ito, pag doing, nag-assemble ka lang ng movement, nakaupo ka lang pero nag-assemble ka lang, 1.6 kilocal per minute. Okay, others, pag nagtitipak, tawag saan, basta yung parang sa wall, break mo yung wall, okay? So, 8 kilocal per minute ang energy expenditure. Pag umakit ng hagdan, pero may load, okay? May load na 17 pounds. So, that's 9 kilocal per minute. Pag nagre-rake, na may laman, that's 10.2 at this position na, 10.2 kilocal per minute. Okay? Anything that's beyond the movements, these basic work movements, kailangan yung computein using this formula. Okay? So, bakit kino-compute yung formula na yon? Yung formula na yon is actually what you are needing for this W. Okay? This W is actually the average energy expenditure during work. Okay? Ibig sabihin, balik ako doon, ibig sabihin, if in case, halimbawa kasi madaming task, nagbe-bricklaying, after bricklaying, ano yun? Grass cutter, mag-grass cutter afterwards. Tapos maghahalo ng simento, okay? So, kunyari, kinuha nyo lahat yung energy expenditure. Halimbawa, 4 plus 8.5. A-average nyo yun yung value ng W, which is, yun yung kailangan nyo for computing the rest period. Okay? So, sufficient recovery must then be provided to allow the body to recover from fatigue and recycle the lactic acid. So, normally kasi, minsan, to verify yung rest allowances that you're actually including in your time, you can actually make use of this. Okay? So, halimbawa ay na-compute nyo, 3 hours ang rest period. Okay? Pwede nyo siyang i-recheck using this formula. Compute nyo yung average work niya, average energy expenditure minus the constant 5.33 at saka 1.33. Okay, with that, you would be seeing kung ilang minuto ang pahinga na required niya. Okay, so lalabas dyan about 30 minutes. Okay, so in that way, you would be able to defend na based on, aside from the constant or aside from the table of allowances, it also bumps with your energy expenditure. Ito po, okay, compute ko. Ito kasi yung energy expenditure nyo. So, ang required rest nyo po ay ito lang. Okay, so yun. It supports your allowances, rest allowances that is included in your standard time. So that ends yung una. Okay, question? Question? Question so far? So may activity to. Ay hindi, wag na. Wag activity dahil delayed lang naman yan. Okay, so proceed na ako sa next. To save time. Question dun sa previous before I move on. Guys. Question, clarification. Okay, so kung wala, proceed na ako sa next. Okay. So we have here the standard data and its uses. So kung marirecall nyo, these are your objectives to visualize standard data. So recalling, so we're done with the direct measurement. We're done with the predetermined motion time system. What's left is the standard data and the regression analysis. So i-discuss na natin siya ngayon. So para complete na tayo. So we have here standard data and formulas. So standard data and formulas, first off, defining standard data. When you're talking about standard, okay, these are established data wherein you can make use of this reference in case you are encountering elemental, parang predetermined. Okay, parang predetermined. When the movement is reached, ito yung standard data. Okay, so yun yung ibig sabihin ng standard time data. Elemental times obtained from time studies that have been stored for later use. So the principle of applying standard data was established many years ago by Frederick Taylor, who proposed that each elemental time must be properly indexed so that it could be used for future time standards. So that nung afterwards, diba, in-establish na nila si predetermined time standards. So standard data can have several levels of refinement. It may actually be based on motion, element, or task. Okay, so the more refined the standard data element, the broader its range of use. So kaya madalas, mas ginagamit natin si standard data. So time study formula is an alternate and typically simpler presentation of standard data. So, para i-input nyo na lang siya. Okay, kumbaga yung formula itself is a form of standard data. Kasi ipapasok nyo na lang yung normal time ninyo, observed time, okay, para makompute yung standard time. Okay, so that's an example of a standard data. Standard time data development. If in case you are actually concerned with building your standard time data, you have to focus on distinguishing the constant elements to the variable elements, which is yun din naman yung sinabi natin during the time study discussion. Okay, so constant elements, these are the elements that are actually happening always in your system, while your variable elements, these are yung mga items na pasalpot-salpot lang. Okay, o it varies, o yung oras niya, it varies throughout your cycles. Okay, so review lang naman ang standard time yan. So, typical standard data for machine operation would be tabulated as follows. So, you have your setup time, constant variables, then each piece, nagpo-produce kayo ng madami, each piece na constant and variable. And then, afterwards, pwede nyo nang establish yung standard time. Sorry, wordy siya. Okay, example ito. Okay, calculation of brief element times. So, we all know that whenever you're doing time study, you are actually timing per element. And each element can actually be comprising of many movements. Okay? So, halimbawa, itong sa element A, ang oras ay 0.07 minutes, pwedeng tatlo yung movement sa loob ni element A. Pwedeng transport empty, or reach para sa inyo. Reach, grasp, at saka transport loaded o move. Okay? So, yun yung tatlong movement, kunyari for A. For B, may tatlo uli siyang movement. For C, etc. Okay? So, you might actually be calculating the element times for each micromotions using the general formulas. Okay, so ito, in-equate niya lang at nakuha niya yung values na, ito, simple algebra execution lang naman to, na ginamit niya yung mga given na A plus B plus C is equal to 0.07, okay, B plus C plus D is equal to 0.067, and so on. So, yung T stands for the total time na 0.0339. So, kaya sinasabi niya, dahil nga tatlong cycles kada movement yung meron, so divide by 3 niya, so 0.113. So, with that, tinry niyang i-derive yung each element. Okay, so ito yung derivation na sinundan niya, which is, as I recall, ito din yung activity na gagawin nyo sa dulo ng discussion na to. Okay, so pwede nyo itong i-follow since halos ganito lang din yung gagawin niyo. So this is for you to visualize. If in case you would be getting the standard time of each movement, okay, based on element, huwag kayong mag-worry kasi yung micro-elements, you can also derive it from there. Okay? Because your standard data can actually be derived to get the micro data. Okay? So which is ito yung ginawa dito sa part na to. So, in that, ang output niya ay nakuha niya ang value ng micromotion A, B, D, at saka E. C, D, E. So, this is the standard data, okay, for time study para sa diecast machine na na-establish ng worker. Okay? So, in this way, pag sinabi kasing standard data, ibig sabihin, lagi siyang gagamitin. Okay? So, if in case, halimbawa, hindi na ako nag-work sa company, okay? Yung susunod na magtatrabaho doon, na magta-time study, pwedeng ito yung gamitin niyang basis ng element cuts. Okay? Hindi na yung magde-derive na naman siya from scratch kasi nga may standard data na. Okay? So, in this way, alam niya na yung elements ay ito. Okay? At nagsa-start yun, at nag-e-end yun, so, all waiting time while metal is being poured in the pot. Endpoint na agad yun. Okay? So, in that way, na-communicate mo kahit wala ka na dun sa kumpanya using your established standard data na, okay, ito yung element, baka mamaya gusto mong tignan, i-verify yung time study na ginawa ko dati. Ito yung elements, ito yung endpoints. Okay? Ito yung gamitin mong form. Okay? Para hindi na mahaba masyado yung turnover natin. Okay? Kasi nga, meron akong standard data na in-establish. So, this is an example of your standard data development form. Next, tabular data. Aside from dun sa formula, okay, pwedeng standard time formula, pwedeng yung form na pinakita natin kanina. Pwede rin namang in form of tables. Okay, so when developing standard data types for machine elements, the analyst may need to tabulate horsepower requirements, okay, etc. for the machine. So example ng tabular data is this one. So literally table talaga siya. Okay, though hindi kasing literal, baka mamaya inisip yung table as in lamesa. Okay, table siya dahil halimbawa ay you have surface fee, you have block na ang surface feet niya, gaano kalalim, okay, ang lalim niya ay 200 feet. Okay? So, 200 feet. Tapos, say for example, ay 3/8 depth cut ang gusto nyong gawin. Okay? So, tas ang gusto nyong gamitin ay 0.099. Okay? 0.009 na speed. Okay? So, ang i-feed ninyo ay 9.8. Okay? 9.8 inches. Mga ganong bagay. In this way, normal to, especially for, halimbawa yan, machine shop yan. Okay? Para hindi na siya, uy, ang block natin ganito kalalim. Anong gagamitin kong talim? Okay, anong gagamitin kong talim? Hindi na magtatanong sa'yo kasi titignan na lang niya yung table. Okay? Na, okay, pag ganito kalalim, pag ganito ang gustong bilis, tapos ganito ang gustong precision, ano ang gagamitin kong talim? O ano ang gagamitin kong speed? Okay, mga ganong bagay. You can actually directly base it on table. Don't worry guys, these are example of tables. Okay, hindi nyo siya kailangan gamitin dahil hindi nyo naman magagamit dahil hindi pa kayo nag-aaral ng machine shop. Though nakapag-IMP na ba kayo? Nakapag-industrial materials processes na kayo? Tapos na? Tapos na?
Opo.
Eh di nakita niyo na tong table na to?
Hindi po.
Talaga ba? Ayun lang. Anyways, so baka medyo sa drilling kasi turning operation to ginagamit. Okay, so yun. Yung mga mechanical engineers o di kaya yung mga machinist natin, yan, ginagamit nila yan para in reference to dun sa materials. Gaano kalalim yung makakat nila para to achieve a certain speed, ganyan. So, table yung ginagamit nila. Okay, so, no worries, hindi nyo siya kailangang aralin. Ang pinapakita ko lang sa inyo ay example ng tabular data and how they are actually using it. So, next. Another form, aside from, di ba kanina, in words, in forms. Okay, next. Nagtabular. Another way para ma-present nyo yung standard data ninyo is using nomograms and plots. Okay, so nomograms are actually graphs na sa isang graph, ang dami ng laman. Okay? So, concept is by plotting a curve or a system of curves in the form of an alignment chart, the analyst can express considerable standard data graphically in one page. Example nito ay this one. Nasa na siya? Ayan. Okay? So, this one, halimbawa, I don't know if ang gusto nyo ay cutting speed or depende ko ano. Ito, nomogram for determining phasing and turning time. Okay? So, phasing time. Okay. So, halimbawa, ang gusto nyo ay depende sa production fee. Ang considerations ay gaano kadami ba yung ipoproduce. Ito yung mga consideration, list of consideration. So, halimbawa, ang gustong iproduce na pieces per hour ay 30. Okay? Ang percent cutting time o yung oras na, di-plot ko na to ha, it's not necessary na i-follow nyo tong sample lang to kung paano siya ginagamit. Ha? Okay? Pero hindi siya, it's not necessary na kailangan ma-follow na ganito yung itsura na nagzizigzag. Hindi naman. Depende. This is how the nomogram works. Madami siyang data. Madami siyang criterion. Okay, madami siyang criteria. Tapos, ang nangyayari, kada criteria, i-trace mo yung line para ma-lead ka dun sa sagot. Okay? So, halimbawa 30. 30 ang gusto ko. Okay? 30 na production pieces per hour. So, tapos, out of all the processes, parang 20%. O, dito track ko, 30, 20. Lagyan ko ng linya. Tapos, cutting time per piece. Okay, cutting time per piece. So, halimbawa ay 0.4 minutes. So, linya ko ulit, 0.4. Okay, length of cut in, halimbawa ay inches. So, halimbawa 0.15. So, pag ganito, iti-trace nyo lang yan hanggang sa yung makita nyo yung cutting speed ay base dun sa linya. Halimbawa, ito kasi, halimbawa, tapos na kayo dito sa pag-analyze ng hanggang baba. So, ito ang gusto nyong malaman na sagot. So, since ang linya ay pa ganon, didiretso nyo na siya. Okay, didiretso na siya. Halimbawa, ito yung variable, ito yung gusto nyong mahanap. So, since ang huling linya ay pa ganon, ididiretso mo lang siya. So, therefore, ang cutting speed na magagamit mo ay 150 feet per minute. Yun yung sense ng nomograms and plots. So, technically, parang ina-analyze mo yung different criteria. Though, normally, parang hindi pa ako nakakita sa dami ng pinasa kong planta. Hindi na ako nakakita ng gumamit ng nomogram. Kasi nga, sobrang deceiving niya, sobrang nakakalito siya. Ang dami niya masyadong inanalyze na criteria na hindi ko alam or hindi mo masusure kung nagamit niya sa dulo. Parang ang nagamit ko lang dito itong rev per minute. Okay, mga ganong bagay. So, yun. So, yun lang yung negative K, nomograms and plots. Pero for machining, though ako kasi hindi pa ako nakapasok sa machine shop masyado. So, siguro for machine shops, ginagamit pa rin nila yan. Okay, but yun, technically, ang ginagawa lang niya is tracing your criteria based on certain skills. And then, yung dulo, alam ba sa dulo yung gusto mong malaman, yung path yung susundan mo para ma-lead ka dun sa tamang speed, tamang production per hour, kunyari. Depende dun sa linya sa dulo na magagawa. So, pwede rin naman na ganito na lang. Okay, sizes expressed in square units. So, pwede naman sana na ganito na lang. This is the standard time. And then, this is the size, forming time for different sizes. Ito, madaling tignan, diba? Kasi 2 axes lang siya, dalawa lang yung variable na ina-analyze mo. So, ibig sabihin, kung ang size ay 150 inches squared, okay, ang oras, 150, ang katapatan ay mga 0.15. Ay, hindi, mga 0.15 nga. 0.15 na decimal hours per 100. Kung ano mang unit yun. 0.15 ang gagamitin niyang standard time kung ang size ng i-form niya ay 150. Okay? In this way, madali siyang tignan, diba? In chart. Yun nga lang ang hindi kagandahan, parang si nomogram. Okay? Okay naman tong plot na to, madaling makita. Yun nga lang minsan, 'di ba, pag wala kang ruler, halimbawa ako, 'di ba, wala kang ruler. Ang hirap tignan kung 0.15 nga ba 'yun o baka naman 0.158, mga ganyan. May ganung decimal place at hindi ko siya na-consider sa study ko. Okay? Kasi nga ang pinresent mo sa akin ay plot. Pero technically, madali siyang intindihin. Okay? Madaling intindihin yung plot na pag ang size ay 200, ito ang standard time. Sige, pag 50, ito ang standard time. Okay, madali siyang tignan kasi ipinlot mo na siya. Okay, yun nga lang, medyo kaingat-ingat lang din ng operator kasi kailangan niya ng ruler kung ito ang gagamitin niya para ma-sure niya yung katapatan nung linya na kailangan niya. So, yan. Disadvantage ng nomograms and plot. First, it is easy to introduce error in reading. Kagaya ng sabi ko kanina, medyo deceiving siya. Especially pag Pag ikaw lang, pag pagod ka na maghapon, tapos bigla kang titingin sa kaliit-liitang chart, there is a huge tendency that you'll commit error. Second, there is a chance of outright error through incorrect reading or misalignment of intersections. So, formula construction for empirical data. So, steps in formula construction, identify the variables, analyze the elements, and collect the data, and plot the data and compute for variable expressions. Check for accuracy and finalize. So, for identifying the variables, so I don't know if you're familiar with di ba yung mga usual formulas ninyo? Halimbawa ay, ano bang may mga energy mc squared lang kasi yun eh. Halimbawa yung resting na lang kanina. Okay? Yung formula ng resting kanina, kung mapapansin nyo, may constant, may variable. Okay? Rest, diba? 5.33 tsaka yung 1.33 minus W. Okay? Minus W pareha yun. Numerator at denominator. Okay? So kung mapapansin nyo, yung mga variables doon, yung W. Okay? So, technically, yung variables, ito yung mga magbabago o depende sa'yo. Depende sa process. Okay? So, ito yung pwedeng i-tweak sa formula, variables. Okay? At yung constant na tinutukoy, yung mga naka-numerical na. Okay? So, halimbawa yung kanina, 5.33 at saka 1.33. So, yun lang naman yung kwento ng mga yan. So, pwede niya basahin isa-isa, pero yun lang yung sense niya. So, technically, kailangan at least 10 studies should be made bago nyo sabihin na ito na talaga yung formula niya. Okay? Establish nyo muna si variable, si constant. Okay? And then, kailangan sa pag-establish, mga 10 studies, okay, bago nyo sabihin na ito talaga yung fixed na formula for that. So, ayan. Ito, wala naman masyado yan. Pwede nyo gamitin si spreadsheet. Yun lang yung sinasabi doon. So, normally, pag straight line, parang nakita nyo kanina na gano'n, na yung plot niya ay straight line lang, pwede nyo gamitin yung y is equal to mx plus b na expression, which is the equation of a straight line. Okay, pwede din naman yan. Madali siyang gamitin kasi known na siya. So, for non-linear naman na decreasing trends, y is equal to 1 minus x. Though pag nag-Excel naman kayo, madaling makita doon yung formula. Kung nakapag-stat kayo sa akin before, nakapag-stat ba sa akin ba kayo nag-stat? Nag-lab?
Yes po.
Ayan. 'Di ba, kung matatandaan nyo, kayang ilabas sa Excel yung formula, yung linear formula. Yung meron lang siyang certain na i-click, tapos mailalabas niya na yung formula. Sana natatandaan niyo siya. Okay, so yun. Yun din yung sense ng kung sakaling i-automate nyo siya, hindi na kayo magmamanual na magre-release ng formula. Kasi yung Excel na mismo yung maglalabas sa inyo ng formula. So yan. So, pwedeng through that, so pwedeng makapag-create uli kayo ng table. Okay, pero normally kapag pag machinist yung mga work, kaya naman nilang mag-compute kasi meron agad silang calculators beside them na i-substitute na lang nila yung values. So ito, sample ng formula. So this is actually medyo dinerive lang mula dito sa connection na to. Okay, tapos nag-derive sila ng line na connection. Tapos, ito na yung naging final nilang quadratic model. Tinesting lang nila yun. So, ito yung kanilang curve based on that problem. Okay? So, again, that is for you to visualize na, nagde-derive pala talaga. Kaya pala talagang mag-derive ng standard data out of certain studies. Yes, kaya pong mag-derive. Okay? So, hindi lang tayo restricted na time study lang ng time study. Hindi. Actually, nag-establish tayo ng standards. And one of which is establishing the standard data. Okay, so pwedeng in this form. Ang ilabas nyo, formula, in graph. Okay, so yan, pwede yan. Check for accuracy and finalize. The easiest and fastest way to check formula is to use it to existing time studies. So, i-substitute nyo. Okay, substitute nyo kung meron kayong na-identify na variable, substitute nyo. Pag tama, edi tama ang formula. Okay, pwedeng i-check. Okay, at sana hindi siya lumalampas sa 5% yung error na nakocommit nyo kada substitute nyo. Baka mamaya, 10 yung sinubstitute nyo, pero ang lumabas, 8 yung mali. Okay, so wag naman ganun. Okay, so roughly 5% lang yung error na acceptable whenever, kung sakaling magkakamali yung formula, mga 5% lang yung error. So para naman, reliable talaga yung standard data nyo at formula. Analytical formulas. So, standard times can be calculated using analytical formulas found in technical books. So, these are actually coming from different machining operations. Though again, may makikita po kayong mga formula. Note lang, may makikita po kayong mga formula sa mga susunod na slide, pero hindi nyo po kailangang sauluhin. Ito po ay for you to visualize kung paano ginagamit yung formulas na yun in case kayo ay mag-establish ng standard time. Okay, so halimbawa, this is drill press work. We have 3 work na i-discuss here. Drill press work. Drilling ang process na as in may talim, mag-go down siya into a certain piece para makapag-create ng hole. Okay, so drill. So, drill press works, formula, nasaan yung formula? Is this one. Okay, so L is the lead of the drill. So, kung mapapansin nyo, pag nag-drill kayo, hindi nyo alam kung ang dami kasing talim ang daming sizes nung talim, anong type ng talim. Okay, so we have here the simple formula of the lead of the drill. At depende dun sa angle ng drill ninyo. So, ito ang example kung paano siya ginamit. So, in this one, 0.5 over 1.66, compute na lang sa CalQ, yun yung gagamitin yung lead of the drill. Okay, so, using the standard formula na established na ng handbooks. So, kung sakaling hindi kayo familiar dun sa L at saka sa small l, okay, so ito yung designation nila. Drill speed. Drill speed, ito yung formula. Okay, so 3.82, meron siyang constant na 3.82, tapos variables na feet in inches per revolution, saka surface feet minute over the diameter. So, ito example, determine the feet in inches per minute of a 1-inch drill running at a surface. So, substituting lang, so 4.97 inches per minute. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung magiging basis nung gaano kabilis yung drilling na gagawin, hindi hara-harabas. Okay, so based siya sa standard formula. So, this one naman is the cutting time. So, gaano kabilis ang ika-cut. Okay, so, in case nag-establish kayo ng standard time at merong cutting na drilling ang process, so ito yung formula na pwede nyong gamitin. So, cutting time in minutes is equal to total length in drill. A drill must move and the feed in inches per minute. So, 0.464 minutes per cutting time. Baka mamaya kasi ay ma-consider nyo siya as pwede nyo siyang ma-consider as variable, okay, sa inyong time study. So, pwedeng itong formula na lang ang ilalagay nyo doon. So, ibig sabihin, medyo variable siya, hindi siya constant time. Variable time na depende kung gaano kalalim ang inyong ipapa-drill dun sa worker. So, pwedeng ito yung gamitin yung formula. So, ito naman, allowances lang. So, the cutting time does not include allowances. Kaya, when you're including this to your standard time, okay, isama nyo muna siya sa observed time. Okay, isama nyo siya doon para malagyan natin siya ng performance. Hindi na. Sa normal time nyo na siya isasama. Sa normal time, kasi hindi nyo siya kailangan lagyan ng performance kasi computed siya. lalagyan nyo lang siya ng allowance. Okay, sa normal time, i-add nyo siya sa normal time, tapos lalagyan nyo ng allowance. Kasi yun, walang allowances na inilalagay yung formulas. Late naman. Sa late work, gumagamit siya ng late machine. So, pwedeng ang gamit nyo ay yung nakahiga. May nakatayo din naman daw na late machine. Pero sa atin, yung nakikita nyo yung nakahiga sa likod ng iLab, late machine yon. So, nakahiga malaki sa likod na machine. So, late machine yon. So, ang ginagawa ni late machine, pwedeng forgings, castings, bar stock, or hindi ko alam kung nakakapanood kayo ng mga videos in YouTube or in Facebook rather. You'll see yung mga items wherein they're actually creating vases out of wood, pencil. Okay, hindi ko alam kung nakita niyo yung part na yun, pero medyo nadaanan ko siya last time. So yun, late machine yung gamit nila, binubutasan yung gitna. Okay, no, halimbawa malaking wood, bubutasan yung gitna para maging vase siya. Di kaya ay gagawa ng trumpo from a certain block, gagawa ng trumpo, late machine yung ginagamit doon. So ito yung sura ng late machine. Inside ng late machine. So, normally, si late machine, nagde-differ siya sa speeds and feeds. Gaano kabilis yung movement. Kasi may setting doon, gaano kabilis siya. Tapos gaano ka-deep din, gaano ka-deep yung ipapakain nyo doon sa cutter, sa dulo. Kung naka-center kayo sa dulo, gaano kalalim yung ipapacut ninyo. Depende din yun sa speed at saka sa depth. So, ito yung formula for cutting time. Ayan. Cutting time at saka feed in inches per rev. This is again coming from the book, reference book ng machining. Okay. So, pwede niyang gamitin again for establishing your standard times. Next is milling naman. Milling refers to removal of materials with a rotating multiple toothed cutter. Kung si lathe machine ay single cutter, single point cutter, si milling machine multiple tooth cutter ang meron sa kanya. So madaming ngipin o madaming pang-cut. Okay? So while the cutter rotates, the work is fed past the cutter. So in milling work, as in drill press, in late work, the speed of the cutter is expressed in surface feet per minute. So ito yung example ng milling machine work. So you'll see here, face milling to. Ayan. So madaming talim inside your rotating, tapos nakakapag-cut siya to a surface. So, ito yung formula for the cutting speed at saka feed. Ayan, cutting speed and feed for milling machine. If in case lang, may milling na gagawin. So, again, ito chipping. Number of cutter teeth na ilalagay. So, minsan kasi 3 lang, minsan 4. Okay, depende. So, ito yung formula na ginagamit. So, ito yung example ng paggamit ng formula ng cutting time. Hindi ko na kayo i-drill down dyan, kaya hindi ako nagko-compute niyan kasi supposedly yan ay nasa IMP na ninyo. Okay, pero sinushow ko lang dito kasi pwedeng gamitin nyo siya for standard time establishment. Okay? So, halimbawa yan, 0.888 minutes time cutting. So, yun. Magagamit nyo siya sa inyong standard time establishment. Standard data usage. So, standard data usage. So, for easy reference, constant standard data elements should be tabulated and filed under the machine or the process. Okay? And then your variable data can either be tabulated or expressed as a curve or equation and then filed under the facility or operation class. Normally kasi, dahil constant naman siya, hindi, kailangan siya lagi sa process. Pero pag variable, parang case-to-case scenario lang siya. Kaya dapat nasa shelf siya doon. Para hindi ang daming file sa ilalim sa harap ng worker. Baka ang dami-daming numbers, ang dami-daming graphs sa harap ng worker. Dapat ang nasa harap lang ng worker ay yung standard data. Kung standard data ang gamit nyo ha. Standard data lang ang nasa harap ng worker. Constant standard data lang ang nasa harap ng worker para yun lang yung basis niya. Okay? Hindi na yung, pero pag machining ang process, halimbawa, machine shop naman, okay, di pwede namang iharap nyo rin sa kanya yung variable data since yung mga machinist natin. Pero pag normal operators, normally ang inihaharap lang natin ay constant standard data. In some instances for which standard data are broken down to cover a given machine and class operation, it may be desirable to combine constants with variables and tabularized summary. So kung mapapansin nyo, hindi ko alam kung nakikita nyo, may mga scenario na meron ng graph, meron pang table sa ilalim para sure na maayos yung magiging visualization ng operator. Okay lang din naman yun. Okay? Para lang magamit ng ayos yung standard data na in-establish niyo. So sample ito. So may reference na kung ano yung setup. Okay, tapos ito daw ay fifth position. Okay, tapos welding procedure details. Ito na yung ihaharap mo dun sa worker mo. Para magtitingin na lang siya. Kung ayan, titingin siya kung ilan yung man hours, and etc. Okay, so para mas madali, para hindi na siya mag-iisip masyado, di ba nga unnecessary yung planning. Okay, ito yung tinatanggal ng standard data. Okay, may reference na kasi ako, so hindi na ako mag-iisip. Okay, may standard data sa harap ko, hindi na ako mag-iisip. Okay, titignan ko na lang ngayon yung standard data. So ito yun. Standard data for blanking and piercing strip stock hand feed with piece automatically removed in Toledo 76 punch press. So yan. Ito rin, example. So, pwedeng in this form, ayan, setup elements. Kitang-kita mo na agad ngayon kung ilang minuto lang dapat bumabad ang tao. Ito rin, pwede rin. So, engineering drawing, pwede rin. Standard data din siya na matatawag. So, at least makakapag-measure. Masama lang dito, kulang, gitna. Okay, sabi ko masama lang dito, hindi kita kung nasa anong measurement from this point to this point. Yun nga lang, meron pala dito sa gilid, so gitna. Divide by 2 lang para makuha mo yung gitna. Okay, another example. Ayan, ito kinompute yung example. So, takeaway for using standard data. This is the last slide, mga kapatid. Pasensya na medyo humaba. Okay, so for easy reference, constant standard data elements should be tabulated and filed under the machine. And then, variable data can be either be tabulated or expressed as a curve or equation. And then, filed under the facility or operation class. Which is yun din naman yung sinabi ko kanina. Inulit lang para ma-remind kayo na yun yung very essential kung sakaling nakapag-establish na kayo ng standard data. Okay, question before I leave. So, I don't know if masya-show here, pero merong assignment or exercise in here. Show ko lang. Okay, show ko lang yung assignment. Ito yung makikita nyo sa exercise doon sa LMS. Okay? So, ito lang ang magiging activity nyo for today. Okay? So, technically, parang guide question lang siya with regards to standard data, itong mga to. And then, itong last part, may compute the times for element ABC. Ang gagawin yung reference dito ay yung isang slide na pinakita ko na ito rin yung almost na ginawa. Okay? So, andun lang din siya sa taas. Sundan nyo lang yun para makapag-arrive kayo for ABCDN. Question before I officially leave.
Miss,
Miss.
Yes.
Miss, pwede pong magtanong dun sa activity 7 po, yung sa TMU po. Hindi ko po kasi alam kung alin dun sa slides yung exercise. Medyo nakakalito po.
Buksan ko pa ang M-rooms kung anong nasa activity 7 mo.
Sige
Message
po,
mo
Miss.
after this, tapos ah.
Okay po, Miss. Miss, last na po. Sa ano naman po, Miss, sa OR? Pwede po magtanong about sa OR?
Nauna? Sige, sige.
Dun po sa exam, pwede daw pong pa-extend nung time po.
Ilang oras ba ang nakalagay doon?
Miss, dun sa part 1 po, 15 minutes. Kung pwede daw pong pa-extend.
Kasi ano lang yun, objective lang yun, tapos ang tanong ay 20 lang? Nakita niyo na ako ilang tanong?
Hindi pa po, Miss. Hindi pa po
20 lang yun. Kakaunti lang yun. Kaya ganun kaunti din. 20 questions or 20, basta 20 lang yun. 20 questions lang yun. So mabilis lang din siya. Objective lahat. Walang computation dun sa part 1. Kaya ganun lang siya kabilis.
Sige po, Miss. Thank you po.
Other questions?
Hanggang, Miss.
Yes. Hello? Yes po. Hello? Hello? Sino yung nagtatanong?
Miss, hanggang kailan po yung pasan nitong exercise na binigay niyo po ngayon?
Wala naman po, clarify ko ha, wala akong deadline. Wala akong deadline as in kahit yung exam, may nakalagay lang dyan na deadline na tawag dyan, kailan hanggang Wednesday lang ata. Ay, may nakalagay lang yan na hanggang Wednesday. Pero, if in case naman, halimbawa, hindi nyo siya natapos hanggang Wednesday, worst to worst case lang naman, ay NME kayo, no midterm exam. Doon sa record. Kasi, di ba may cut tayo pagka midterm, nag-upload kasi tayo ng midterm grade. Okay? Pero, beyond that, wala naman. Bubuksan ko naman pag nakapag-completion kayo. So, ibig sabihin, hindi ko kayo pinipressure. Even yung exercises, walang deadline yon. Hindi po ako nagre-record ng deductions for late submissions. Diba, nakita nyo ang deadline na kahapon. Okay? Hindi ko yun nire-record pag nakikita kong submitted 10 days later, ganyan. Or 10 days late. Okay? So, hindi ko po yun nire-record. Okay lang po yun. Kasi nga, ang sabi ko sa inyo, ang concern ko ay yung completion ng activity, completion and understanding with regards to the activity kesa dun sa deadline. Kasi nga, yun nga, hindi para ma-pressure kayo. Okay? Kasi I understand na madami rin naman kayong subject and most probably, madami rin demands yung ibang subjects ninyo. So, you might actually be prioritizing it daily or depende sa diskarte ninyo, sa studying habits ninyo. Okay, but technically, ang sense is hindi ako nagbibigay ng deadline. Okay, okay lang yun. Open-ended ako pagdating sa deadline. What matters to me is mag-submit kayo. Kung sakaling hindi kayo inabot kasi midterm exam, kailangan tapos lahat ng activity eh. Okay, though mark complete lahat ng activity. Kung sakaling hindi kinaya, yun nga lang, hindi ko siya mahahabol for midterm grade. Pero yun nga, pwede naman kayo mag-completion kung sakali man. Pwede naman kayo mag-completion, tapos tapusin nyo na lang uli siya at your own pace. So, hindi naman ako mamimeasure na unahin nyo yung subject ko. Wala namang ganun sa akin. Okay, so okay lang naman sa akin.
Thank you po, Miss.
Sige po. Other question?
Miss, ako po.
Yes.
Miss, yung sa Turnitin nga po ba yun? Miss, pag malaki po yung similarity, okay lang po ba yun?
Isasend ko sa inyo yung rubrics ko. Pag turn it in, ang aking
Ayun po,
post ko nga
Turnitin.
sa inyong group, yung aking magiging grading. Pag turn it in, ang submission, binubuksan ko lang, alam ko 50%. 50% ay attributed sa similarity index. Ito. So, 50% ay attributed sa similarity index. Ay, hindi ko pala na-show. 50% similarity index. Next ay, i-show ko na lang muna sa inyo nang hindi siya nakaayos. Ito na lang. Makikita niyo yung grade ng iba. Ayan. So, this would be the basis for grading. For rubric for OE and PT for Turnitin submissions, you have 50% weight for similarity index, 5% for how organized the submission has been. So, halimbawa lang, meron ako sinabi na kailangan ng citation, na APA, ganyan, kung meron man. Okay? Pero sa inyo, parang puro solution naman ata. Then, completeness, 20%, tas correctness ay 25%. So, yun yung magiging basis ko for grading. So, medyo malaki yung hatak ng similarity index. Okay, so, kung mapapansin nyo dito, ang rate mo ay pinakamataas kung 0 to 10 yung similarity index. Key lang naman dyan, kaya siya pinakamalaking priority kasi kaya nga siya Turnitin assignment. This is for me to, sana kasi yung output na isa-submit to doon is authentic. Ibig sabihin, kayo yung based on your research, tinranslate nyo siya on your own words, ganyan. So, hindi yun madedetect ni similarity index kung tinranslate nyo siya on your own words, yung mga nakuha nyo online. Okay? That is, parang baka sabihin nyo, parang, Miss, parang dinaya lang naman, tinranslate lang din naman namin, pero kinuha lang din namin sa ibang site. Pero at least, diba, may processing kayong ginawa. Okay? At ang importante kasi pag nagpa-process kayo, doon kayo natututo. Okay? Sabihin natin, oo, ni-refer nyo lang siya. Ginaya ko lang din po yan, pero iniba ko lang yung word. Kaya bumaba yung similarity index. Good for you. Okay? Kasi ibig sabihin, nag-process. Pag nag-process ka, mas malaki yung chance na medyo may nag-grasp yung subconscious mo na learning dun sa ginawa mong activity. Okay? So, yun yung sense. Kaya, naka-turn it in yung mga, yung mga normal na activities. So, yan. So, turn it in tayo. Tapos, non-Turnitin submissions naman, kung sakali lang na halimbawa, solving kasi, problem solving, ang ginawa ko. Ayan. So, yan. Ito yung criteria niya. So, organization, 40%. So, syempre medyo, baka mamaya, tanongin niyo ako, medyo, Miss, bakit nang matter yung pagkaka-organize? Okay, kasi minsan, diba, yung mga activities ko, minsan may sagot na. Okay, minsan may sagot na, minsan wala. Okay? So, mas, kumbaga, the way you actually have solved, okay, medyo, at least, sana magamit mo in the future yung process. Okay, pag tinignan mo siya in the future, ay, madaling intindihin. Okay, very organized yung pagkakapresent niya ng solution. Okay, so yun, organization, 40%, completeness, syempre, kumpleto ang solution, kumpleto, hindi out of 5, dinaya, hindi sinagutan yung 3 para hindi halata kasi hindi naman i-check ni Miss isa-isa. So yun, completeness 20% and correctness. Okay, so medyo hindi rin, medyo tinitignan ko naman po kung how, especially dun sa mga problems na may sagot na, nilagyan ko ng sagot, okay, kung meron man sa inyo. So yun, tinitignan ko kung gaano ka tama yung solution kasi sa solution na lang tayo magkakatalo. Yun. So yun, ito yung ratings na inilalabas ko for them. So, i-upload ko to. Hindi ko pala na-upload sa inyo. Pasensya na, patawad na. Pero ito yung gagamitin ko. Though sa inyo kasi, hindi pa ako nag-check. Medyo nagsisimula pa lang ako sa 3 first years. Sa dami nila na tigsi 50 ang bata. So, nagsisimula pa lang ako mag-check kahapon. Yan. So, yan yung magiging basis. So, kung turn it in, yung concern kanina medyo okay lang naman. Yun nga lang medyo parang maapektuhan ng kaunti yung magiging grade kung sakali. Pero kay Turnitin, balita ko ay pwedeng mag-submit ng ulit. Kung sakaling nakapag-submit ka na, pwede ka pang mag-submit ulit. Balita ko lang ha. Balita ko dun sa mga
Oo nga
first.
po, miss.
Yun.
Pwede
Miss.
nga po. Pwede din po ba?
Ha? Ang
Miss,
alam ko
pwede
pwede
po ba
mag-submit
ulit?
ulit. Submit mo ulit. Pasok ulit.
Marami po nagiging similar pag dinadamay po namin yung ilalagay po namin yung tanong nyo.
Problem.
Opo. Para
Oo. Huwag niyo isama yung tanong. Kasi pag sinama niyo yung tanong, magde-detect niya. I mean,
kaya po,
buhay mula sa web.
meron po akong pinasa 89% po yung similarities.
Sige. I-recheck ko lang. Patay. Itanggalin mo naman. Kaya mo namang i-resubmit yun.
Okay po.
Kaya mo i-resubmit yun pag turn it in. Balita ko lang sa mga first year. Sila kasi ang unang gumamit. So, i-resubmit mo na, tanggalin mo. Para matanggal yung similarity index.
Okay po. Thank you po, Miss.
Other question? Salamat sa pag-attend nyo today, by the way. Tapusin ko lang yung recording.